International Conference of SICON, a prestigious platform that brings together pioneers and professionals in healthcare, clinical research, and pharmaceutical sciences. SICON has always been a beacon of knowledge and innovation, and this year's conference promises to be no different. We are delighted to have such a diverse and distinguished audience, including researchers, practitioners, and thought leaders who have traveled from near and far for this part of being a part of this enriching experience. Together, let's embark on a journey of learning, sharing, and growing. I welcome you all to today's episode of SICON 5. Let's make this conference a remarkable and impactful event. In today's session, we are going to have three distinguished speakers. The first speaker is Dr. B. Motheeswaran sir. Sir will be discussing on the theme clinical research environments, hospital and industry, which one suits PharmD. And the second speaker is Dr. Delvin S. Kumar sir, PharmD. Sir will be discussing on integral role and responsibilities of bone marrow transplant clinical pharmacist. And the third speaker is Dr. V. Anand Deepak sir, PharmD PGD's CR. Sir will be discussing on the theme Shaping the Future of Research, PharmD graduates as patient advocates. Without further delay, let's get into the first session. The speaker for today's first session is Dr. B. Motheeswaran sir, Site Manager, Directorate of Research at SRM Hospital. Dr. B. Motheeswaran's career journey is characterized by a strong academic foundation and a dedication to advancing the field of clinical research. If we look into overview of his career trajectory, education and early training, Dr. Motheeswaran embarked on his journey by pursuing a Doctor of Pharmacy degree at SRM Institute of Science and Technology. Graduating with first class with distinction, he laid the foundation for the expertise in pharmaceutical sciences. Sir has also been part of diverse internships. As part of his educational journey, he has gained hands on experience through internships at various institutions. Notably, he worked as trainee clinical research coordinator at SRM Clinical Research Center while doing his clerkship, where he gained insights into the practical aspects of clinical research coordination. Clinical validation experience, he has further honed his skills by working as a clinical validator at Ayur AI while doing his clerkship. This role likely provided him with valuable exposure to validating clinical data and ensuring its accuracy. The clinical pharmacist role at SRM Medical College Hospital and Research Center, he has assumed the role of a clinical pharmacist while doing his clerkship. This position allowed him to apply his pharmaceutical knowledge directly to patient care, providing a well rounded perspective on healthcare. His commitment to continuous learning is evident through his pursuit of certifications, completing courses in ICH GCP, project management, vaccine safety, and clinical research fundamentals showed his dedication to staying up to date with industry standards. Building on his educational and experiential foundation, Dr. Motis joined SRM Institute of Science and Technology as a clinical research associate. In his capacity, he managed multiple clinical trials with meticulous attention to GCP compliance, quality, and efficiency. His proficiency in various aspects of trial management, such as monitoring, TMF documentation, site management, and financial oversight, highlighted his comprehensive skill set. His commitment to advancing medical knowledge is evident through his research publications in reputed journals. His studies covered a range of topics from clinical studies to reviews on relevant healthcare issues. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated his progress beyond his professional roles, winning awards in academic competitions, debates, quizzes, and presentations, underscore his well-rounded abilities and passion for knowledge sharing. Dr. B. Motheeswaran's career journey showcases a progression from academia to hands-on clinical research roles, all underscored by his commitment to excellence, continuous learning, and a deep dedication to improving patient outcomes through the advancement of medical research and practice. We welcome you, sir. The stage is yours.
Thank you. From where to start? Okay. How many PharmDs are there? I think everyone is PharmD mostly. Okay. Okay. I saw that you previously attended some clinical research sessions, so you came to know what is clinical research. But I'm not a risk taker, so I'm very cool and I want to enjoy my life maximum. So even my career also will be a 100% fun filled. So funny clinical trials, Complan clinical trials, milk bikis, salt, party smart capsules, dermatology clinical trials, and cosmetic clinical trials. So these are very, very funny. And even alcoholic party smart one capsule, I always, wherever I go to talk, I will say this. So many people already know that because regularly I'm using this example. Party smart is a anti-hangover tablet. If you are getting hangover after alcoholic, that and all is very, very funny. And skin cosmetic clinical trials and all, it will be very funny to conduct. So as you are thinking, clinical research is not that much difficult. It is very, very easy. Okay, at first 2 months will be little difficult once you are learning that basics. After that, after all the balls you are hitting, everything will be a 6 and 4. But initially, you have to learn how to stand in a pitch. What is the pitch condition? What is the average speed of that bowler is bowling? What is the air speed? Who is your opponent division? Then if you are stayed in ground, then you came into the perfect form, then you are a winner. Then you can easily hit 4 and 6. So I don't want to make much delay. We'll start the session. The main thing why I started clinical research is comparing to I advised researchers multiple fields during my PharmD. Then I chose the clinical research. Why means money, because comparing to all other fields, clinical research is paying excellent money for freshers. That is the main reason. But I don't know I will love this much. I will love clinical research this much. Initially, I want to pay off my educational loans because I have some educational loans. Then I planned to enter into clinical research during my 5th year. Then people told, doctors, everyone told, clinical research is a bit difficult, so try to. Then I started in as an intern. For the first 6 months, they gave some irrelevant works. Irrelevant works makes PPT, some irrelevant clinical research works, uh, cases writing, doctor's assistant works. Then after 6 months of some patients, they allotted me in a clinical research intern. Okay, with me, 7 people came for internship during that time. Only 2 crossed and entered into the clinical research because they first test who is having that patients. Because in clinical research, sometimes we have many projects, something we don't have projects. So patience is very, very mandatory and regular learning is mandatory. So out of these two, then we started attending multiple classes, multiple trials, and after that another one candidate also lost the interest and they went to some other field. Still I focused on clinical research. Without paying also I started working during my internship. Then they told that for each patient we will give you 100 rupees. It was a big money for me for at that time. Then I enrolled. That is a very, very easy project. Okay, pulse oximeter project. So it is not going to harm any patients. So they invented a mobile-based app, pulse oximeter. So they are going to check whether the normal pulse oximeter and the mobile-based pulse oximeter is working perfectly. How much the calibration is there, calibrating medical device based clinical trials. They are a deep learning company. They told that if you put your mobile phone and if you put your finger on the torchlight, then within few minutes it will read the blood pressure by producing the I beam electro waves like that. So different ideas. Anyways, what and all your idea, if you pay money then I will work. And I want to learn something also. For the first 1 year, I worked freely. Then after that, they voluntarily paid. Then after a few months, they paid very much, a very good decent amount of money. That is 15,000. Then I want to make some serious decisions that they are paying some money means we have to give the 100%. Then I started reading ICGCP. Previously, I have that good clinical practice certificate, that is ICGCP, that is very very mandatory. Then I know the basics. But after this company is paying, then I came to know that urgency. Okay, we are getting some money, so we need to give our 100% effort. Then I started reading the ICGCP and NDCT principle. So these two are like a Bible to clinical research: guidelines, principles, rules, regulations, everything. If you read these two, then you can rule the clinical research industry easily. Okay, what is this NDCT rule? ICH-GCP E6R2. E6R3 is a E6R2 is a principle. Okay, that is 80-page principle. Daily, at least one page you read. It will be very, very useful for you. Then I started the clinical research career. Then I attended multiple interviews. After attending multiple interviews, got selected in out of 16, selected in 4 interviews. All are very good company. Then I choose which one is more convenient for me because I want to stay with my parents to balance the father's business as well as my passion. So then I joined here. Now everything is going very smoothly. No major work pressure, hectic, anything. So clinical research is not that much difficult. It is good if you do your works regularly because documentation is the major work. So if you document daily, then you can easily earn a very good amount of money and you won't be in a much pressure. Okay, now get into the class. Okay, clinical research is happening in two different places. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one is in site. Site means hospital. In clinical research, we used to call hospital as a site. Another one is sponsor company. In clinical research, we used to call pharmaceutical company as a sponsor company. And in between, one mediator guy is there. That guy name is CRO, Contract Research Organization. That guy go and approach the pharmaceutical company who don't know how to conduct clinical research, but they want to conduct clinical research means he will put agreement that we will give a clinical research report, but you have to pay some good amount of money. The guy's name is IQVIA, Icon, Parexel, Thermo Fisher Scientific. So different companies. And sponsor companies means pharmaceutical companies. Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, Bayer, Zydus, Sun Pharma, Cipla, AstraZeneca. So these kinds of companies are sponsor companies, and these sponsors sometimes directly will have a clinical research associates. First, I'll start from basic because everyone know what is clinical research. But as a regular rule, I have to explain what is clinical research. So clinical research test whether particular treatment are safe and how they work effectively in patients. It opens door to advanced prevention, treatments and cures for diseases, disability. Clinical trial volunteer participants are essential to this progress. It also plays a vital role in the development of products to combat diseases, treat chronic degenerative disease, and improve the health of people around the world. So these are the companies. Okay, so end users, Bristol Myers, these are the company. They are vendors. They are the raw material suppliers for clinical research. They are the regulatory agencies. Okay, these are the very big pharmaceutical companies. Bristol Myers, Johnson and Johnson, medical devices also they are manufacturing, and these companies are pharmaceutical CROs, and they are regulatory bodies. First, we have to find what is the difference. Currently, I am working in hospital, but I'm not going to support hospital today. The reason is in hospital, only limited amount of growth will be there, but you can learn end to end. End to end means in hospital clinical trial center, if yeah,
The slides are not moving, sir.
moving. Okay.
Now it's fine, sir.
No, it's fine. I'll zoom it. These are the previous slides I showed you. Okay, is it visible now?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, okay. So hospital versus industry. So who is giving project to hospital? Industry. So actually we are dependent on industry. So there is always demand in industry because they are developing new medicines, but not in hospitals because industries and give projects to some other hospital also. Okay, if you are working in specific hospital, if that hospital stuck in any problems or issues in clinical research, then no one will give projects to that hospital, and very limited amount of growth. If you are in hospital at a time, maybe 6 to 5 projects may be happening, so you will have a limited amount of knowledge, that is 6 to 5. But in industry, if the pharmaceutical company is managing 20 drugs, each drug will be sent to 40 different sites in phase 3. 1000 is the sample size, means each center will enroll 30, 40, 20, 10 in a competitive enrollment. They want to complete the 100% target with the 40 different sites all over India. So as a CRA, you have to travel everywhere, you have to monitor, you have to call regularly, so your work ethic will be there, learning experience will be more. But if you work on a specific hospital, you can learn excellently from protocol preparation to patient enrollment. This is very basic. Protocol preparation, patient enrollment, how much of money in each trial, how to compromise the patient, what are all the problems arise in a site. Then only, if you know what are all the problems arise in a site, how to solve them, then only you become a good industry person, because you are going to handle 10 to 20 sites. So if any problem arises, means if you already have a work experience in a hospital kind of setups, you can guide the CRCs like this you can solve, like this you can give compensation, like this you can enroll, do documentation like this, store document like this, write document like this, use this format, use this tool, use this color. So these kinds of things. So in hospital side, principal investigator, who is the lead, who is a doctor, co-investigator, another one doctor, and clinical research coordinator, the backbone of clinical trials, who handles patient recruitment, who get consent, who helping to get consent. Actually, the one who is taking consent is CRC, but as per rules, doctor should take the consent. So if in an interview, if anyone asks who is responsible for informed consent, don't tell CRC, they will kick you out. Okay, informed consent should be taken by the principal investigator on data collection, because I did the mistake in one big pharma company during my early days. And the study nurse assists with patient care, and research pharmacist, that is a guy who dispenses the drug or placebo, and participants participates in clinical trials, support staffs, and lab technicians. These are the roles in hospital. In industry, CTM will be there, who monitor the overall clinical trial, multiple trials, and clinical research associates, who study sites for protocol compliance. Data management team handles collection analysis of data, regulatory affairs, because if you are exporting drug from one country to another country, their regulatory need to approve. So if you know what is the regulatory is needed, then you are a regulatory manager. Then you know how to submit a drug to regulatory agencies and regulatory submissions. That is the regulatory affairs. And project managers ensures timelines, budgets, and objectives are met. Medical affairs provides scientific and medical input throughout the trial. Who is a medical science liaison, who is playing an important role. After all the clinical trial data, they will take the review article, then they will send go along with the medical reps are independently, and they will explain what is the that field also has excellent growth. But the ultimate need is clinical research data. And we want to know I explain the hierarchy pay scale. Okay, how much of salary you are expecting after completing your degree? Can I see in a chat box? What is your goal? Meaning basic minimums during your initial phase, and after completing the clinic after 10 years. Okay, initial 25 to 30. Okay, fine. 25K, 25K, 30K, 30K, 40. Very good. What is the decent salary for a freshers? Nirmala Devi, 45. Okay, 30K. Initial salary should be good. If it is a good company, you don't need to worry. If it is not a good company, at initial they will pay more, and after next to five every year they will pay only 1,000. In small companies, 3% increment, 5% increment. But in a big company, even 20 is also, not this AstraZeneca, 20 also is an excellent salary, because each year they will pay you double triple the amount. But after 10 years, once year LP also, once year also possible. Okay, for that you have to plan right field. If you are in the right field, if you are on the right track, then you can achieve the target. Okay, hierarchy is a pay scale. Entry level roles, CRC, clinical research coordinator, will be paid 2.5 to 4 lakh LPA. In pharma companies, clinical trial assistant in the entry level role, you will be paid around 3.3 to 5 LPA. And mid level roles, that is a senior clinical research coordinator in site, and 6 to 8 LPA. You will be paid as a senior. That two very rare, very rare. But in pharma company, you can easily get as a clinical research associate, that is 8 to 12 lakh per annum. In senior roles, uh, 3 to 5 years. After 3 to 5 years, inside 6 to 8 LPA is the major salary. But in a pharma company, senior CRA or a project manager, clinical trial manager, you will earn 15 to 20. Then it will go to 30, 60, 50. Last week I met one clinical trial manager. He told his salary is 60 lakh per annum after 12 years of experience. That too is Ayurveda doctor, but he learned ICGCP. And leadership role, 7+ years after that, sites director and all, not a big posting, but if huge projects are coming, they will earn a good amount of money, 20, maybe 20, 15. Our site and all not paying that much to directors, but pharma VIP companies, clinical trial operations, they will easily pay for a 50 lakh per annum also. And in this is the four roles available in a hospital site. But in pharma companies, it is going clinical research associate, executives, that trial monitoring. You will regularly monitor and compliance tasks. Senior CRA, who supervise multiple trials and mentor junior CRAs. Clinical trial manager means who oversees the operational aspects of trial, how the trials are going. Project managers coordinates and cross-functional teams and budgets, managing everything. Director of clinical research, then you will be the director for India, South India, cluster at India, cluster at South Asia, cluster at Asia, then vice president, then defines vice president is who defines the program goals, then global head of clinical trial development. After 30 years, definitely, if you are in a right track site company, you will be in a global head. But if you are in a site after 30 years, within 10 years, you will be replaced, and another one new young patient enrollment specialist CRCs will come, because you see, like, you are ready for to work for 30,000 salary. But if I am in working inside, after 5 to 6 years, if I am asking 1 lakh per month, what they will do? They will remove me and they will enroll another one new CRCs. So this is the basic starting. So this is the starts from zero. He is one of my mentor. I don't want to disclose his name. So first he worked as a clinical research coordinator at and cancer care clinic. 3 years, 10 months, almost 4 years. He worked as a clinical research coordinator. Then he promoted to senior clinical research coordinators in some other hospital. Another 7 months, some other hospital. He's a dental dentist. So then he went to 1 to 2 years. Again, he started his own clinic. Then again, he came to clinical research as this time as a company employee, clinical research associate. Okay. Within 3 months, he was promoted as a senior clinical research associate. This is the biggest game changer. First, initially, it took 4 to 5 years to learn clinical research coordinator, because basement is excellent. Basement is very mandatory. If you learn basement very well, then as a clinical research associate, easily you can find out mistakes. Easily you can complete multiple projects, because you know what happened in a site, what problems arise in a site, how free, so easily you can solve problems in a site, how much money is needed in a site, what are all the money problems can happen in the site. Okay. Then senior clinical research officer, within a short span of time, he became a senior CRA, that is within 2 years. Then he became a Clinical operations specialist in Fortia. That is 1 year. See, he is in Pune, Nagpur, Pune, then again to Pune, then again Pune. He became a clinical operations specialist. That is 1 year, 2 months. Then again he joined as a IQVIA as a central monitoring 1 year lead analyst, different central monitoring lead, senior central monitoring lead. Now he is the clinical research operations manager in a GOAT company. GOAT means greatest of all time. That logo itself defines no, not this. King of pharmaceutical company. They are the biggest game changers in diabetes, on that insulin, everything. Okay, so greatest company. So he worked in 2 years. Now he worked in Alusant as a senior clinical operations manager. Okay, so he started in 2006, 2006 to 2016, 10 years. Now to the 18 years. Yeah, right. Then 18 years he achieved. Next one, this sir, he worked as a CRA because in 2003 he started his career. Before itself he started. Okay, in 2003 itself, date is coming. He started as a 1 year 6 month. After that, clinical team leader. Then after that, senior CTM. That for 2 years for that is PPD. Then after that, in quintils, that is IQVIA, clinical senior project manager. Then clinical research manager for 4 years. Then for on-site, he worked as a 3 years. That is head of project clinical management. Now head of clinical operations for 3 years in Novo Nordisk. In now head of diabetes and obesity clinical research for all over world. For all over world, yet diabetes and obesity, the Novo Nordisk, which is located in India. Okay, but he is the head. Okay, so shifting from one company to another company within 1 or 2 years or 3 years, which is very mandatory. Okay, so this is the growth in clinical research. Very promising growth. In no Instagram profile, you can see CRC for 10 years, CRA for 15 years. Within 1 to 2 years, if you are in a right track, then definitely you will get a good promotion. Even come after experience of 1 or 2, do we get the same salary like 20 the day as a fresher? Because for each posting, if I'm answering for Vaishnavi questions, Vaishnavi, yeah, for each postings, 10 to 15 members are there, and many families are ready to work as a free for first 6 months. I spoke with one of the clinical trial manager. I told her, sir, I'm doctor of pharmacy graduate. Oh, you are a doctor of pharmacy. Daily, I'm getting 30 to 20 CVs from doctor of pharmacy graduates. These guys are telling we don't have job. Even BPharm getting job, PharmD not getting job. But if I ask some questions regarding ICGCP, they are not answering. But they want the job. What is your syllabus? Why your syllabus is so weak? Why you are not trained in specific part? You are reading all the subjects like that. So competitions are very high. And in clinical research, B Pharm, M Pharm, BSc clinical research, MSc clinical research, BSc biochemistry, BSc microbiology also will come. So once you excelled and joined into the CRC or any pharmaceutical company as a junior CRA, then no one can stop your growth. Then it is a very rapid growing field. Okay, but initial startup push is needed. For that, you need some good motivation. Now we get into the drug development timeline. Every company is having a multiple 10 to 15 projects in a pipeline. So we are in a right track, that is in a pharmaceutical field. In a drug discovery, 5,000 to 10,000 new compounds are in a drug discovery for that will be for 3 to 5 years. And preclinical 1 to 2 years, that is in vitro, in vivo toxicity, PKPD, absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, these kinds of things. Then clinical trial, 6 to 7 years. These 6 to 7 years, all the drugs will take 6 to 7 years, except clinical trial, vaccines and all, vaccine that are coming under a fast track clinical research. So these out of 5,000 to 10,000 compound, only 250 compounds come to clinical research. Out of 250 compounds, only 5 compounds come into the clinical trials. Out of these 5 compounds, only one come into the regulatory approval to the market. So we have to precisely monitor whether it will create any dangerous to patients, whether it is safe or not. Why they are paying so much for clinical research? Any questions? I'm sorry. Okay. The reason is that one drug you are releasing in market, if it provides any adverse event and it causes any dangerous side effects to patients, and if you government came to know, that regulatory approval agency came to know that this drug is not properly clinical trialed, the fabrications of data is there, this is not properly tested means, then they will file you 900 million euros. That Johnson and Johnson company paid 900 million euros due to that powder issue, Johnson and Johnson powder sterilizing issue, because the sterilizing product which they are using is creating cancer, that is asbestos is there. So they paid 900 million. So instead of paying the fine, if we hire the right person to monitor the clinical research to find out the falsification, then it is a huge money saving for us, for them, pharmaceutical company. So only they are paying this much of amount of money, because in India, not only in India, China, all over the world, fake clinical trials are very, 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 very widespread. There is worrying about amount of fraud in medical research, because if you know how to manipulate a data, if you worked in a clinical research for 1 to 2 years, then you can easily manipulate a data, easily prepare a clinical trial report, easily write a report that how, when patients came, when patient didn't came, you will write a exact duplicate report. So to find out that sponsor companies hiring well knowledged person who already had a experience in as a clinical research coordinators, then he can easily find whether it is a, if we know that we our drug our diabetes anti-diabetic drug, hypoglycemic drug, is reducing HbA1c from 9 to 8. Okay, that is our drug capacity, but in the side persons they are giving 9 to 6.5 means, then it is a suspectable. So these kinds of things will be analyzed by a pharmacy professions, that too especially clinical pharmacy, doctor of pharmacy professions, because we are regularly going for ward rounds, we know end to end of drugs basics. Okay, without knowing also you can easily put on ChatGPT and you can see what is the drugs power, previous article studies, everything. Okay, to find out the errors only we are here. So recently also dubious drug trial that is formed by the Zydus. Allegations have been raised against Zydus Cadila for stating trials of biosimilars without producing the original drug from an authentic source. So critical regulatory lapses are there. Even they registered in CTRI, they got the clearance also. They have not properly conducted the clinical trial. The trial involved 40 centers, including AIMS, Tata Memorial, yet, big ethics committee also involved, but many fraudulence have been performed. And the draft report is some site for each patient. If you are paying 1.5 lakhs, means sponsor company is asking 50 patients. Instead of spending that, you can some sites are spending money in graphic designing and making a fake report before clinical trial, some high value clinical laboratory report. After clinical trials, they are reducing that value by with the help of doctors having the fake to prepare a fake report where they are having a good clinical team. So failures in ethical oversight it will lead to, then IEC is not properly monitoring. The ultimate goal of ethical committee is to come and monitor the clinical trials regularly, then it will ultimately damage the India's pharma reputation. If the drug is coming from India, other countries are not accepting, like how Gambia, Uzbekistan drugs are not accepted worldwide because they are conducting clinical trials in a very, very worst way. Even China also not conducting clinical trial in a good way. So like that, if the drug is manufactured from that kind of companies, no country is accepting. So if they do like this means, our country's GDP will definitely reduce. No company will come to conduct clinical trials in India. So then the company reputation will reduce. Other medicines also from the company will automatically production will start reduce and people will now hesitate to buy from that medicine. So the article urges strong regulatory framework and rigorous trial monitoring and self-regulation among the stakeholders. That is, the sponsor company itself should monitor everything. And in a meta-analysis report, it came to know that many scientists reported that my co-scientist is making a falsification of data to earn more money, and they are making the duplication of data, giving a extraordinary reports to low performance drugs. So this is not happening everywhere, but it is happening till it is happening in the world. That's why in clinical research, in article, it is came to know that many clinical trials are done by fabrication and falsification and yield lower administration rates. Even in PharmD projects also, I came to know that many patients, students are enrolling patients, 20 patients only, but they are giving data for 100 patients. Like PharmD project they are doing, but these people are doing in real life patients also. If they need 40,000 samples, means they are taking only 2,000 sample, and they are statistically going with the experts and manipulating the result into 40 patient, 40,000. So this is very dangerous. So that's why clinical research associates are there. So your main role is to focus on the datas, source datas, regular monitoring, everything, and comparison of role in hospitals. Or not only in hospital, you are giving data to industry. Industry also it is happening. Okay, so it is happening both, but we are now we have to focus on what is the difference. So in hospital, patient care and ethics is the major. In industry, the main goal is product development and market entry, how to enter into the foreign market, global market. Team structure in hospital, we have at least 5 to 6 role overlap. Even I do take a work as a phlebotomist. I can work as a logistics person, any work. Yeah, as a site manager, I will do all the kinds of works. But in industry, larger role people's will there specialized roles. You can't able to do another patient's roles. That's why I worked in hospital, because I can do finance. I'm writing. I'm do preparing protocols also. I'm writing publications also. Even I'm presenting ethics presentations. I'm reporting to ADR, to pharmacovigilance. I'm enrolling patients. So all kinds of skills: medical writing, MSL, CRC. So every thing you can do, and even I'm presenting the data to some companies also. But in sponsor company or larger industries, you are specified in specific role, means you are working a specific role only. Okay. In hospital, it is patient-centric clinical trials, skills, and protocol. Here is this protocol. You are in hospital, you will work on patient-centric. If it is wrong, if it is harm for patients, we will not do. But in clinic, this thing and all, if protocol is there, means they will do based on the protocol. To conduct the clinical trial in hospital, ethical committee approval is required. But in industry, FDA, EMA, European Medical Agency, patient interaction will be higher because you are enrolled in high patient involvement. But in industry, they are not directly involved with the patients, indirect enrollment. Career development opportunities, you can do PhDs, you can teach MSc clinical research, BSc clinical research, good amount of money. But in industry, excellent amount of money, diverse role in R&D, QA, and regulatory pathways. And you can get a satisfaction that if you want to work with the work closely with the patients, then you can improve the patient outcomes. Then you can see the happiness after cancer patient or any patients who is taking the drug. But in industry, regulatory approval, after completing each project, you will get a excellent amount of money, world trips, and different roles and responsibilities. In hospital, 24 hours work is not mandatory. That is at least 16 hours, 14 hours to 16 hours. Sometimes work will be there, and even Saturday also we have. But in industry, only 9 to 5. That to Monday to Friday. So these kinds of things. So in hospital, patients benefits you can see, academic growth will be there because publications you can put,
The
capacity
slides
building.
are
The
now.
sites are not changing.
Yes.
Is it visible now?
No, sir,
Yes, sir.
not. I can't see. Yes, 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 sir.
Okay. I don't know what problem. Okay. And development of research skill, better infrastructure for future studies. You can do a investigator initiative project. Even government is paying crores and crores of money for hospitals to initiate a project in rural areas. If you give proposal, means they will give a specific amount of money, 1 crore, 1.5 crore. Then you will do clinical research. But in industry, they will pay salary alone. But in a hospital kind of setup, company will pay Apart from this, you can get government funded projects also, but in industry they will pay a good amount of money, good financial return, and competitiveness, everything will be there. You have to think as a marketing, competitive marketing should be there. And regulatory engagement, you have to focus on the regulatory, but hospital people don't know what is regulatory because the ultimate goal is to compromise the ethics committee. Then in hospital, if you are working as a you are called as a research scientist, resource development, community health impact, these all will be there. And industry sustainable innovation, because regular projects are there. Daily you are working on new projects, financial growth. Every per year, 1 lakh, 5 lakh, 6 lakh salary increase will be there. And industry challenges, regulatory complexity, because multiple approvals you need to get, multiple projects in a timeline, pressure will be there, cost will be higher because to conduct a trial management, infrastructure, everything. And data integrity, you have to follow the GCP, public perception, because conducting clinical research, people will call they are testing the drug like a lab rats. So we should not make people feel like that. And competition and innovation pressure will be there, because same time if you are doing clinical research, another one sponsor company also will do clinical trial for the same indications. But in hospital, patient recruitment, because it is not easy to enroll a single patient, and it is very easy for take that patients for last at least 6 months, especially for rare diseases and resource limitations. So funding will be low, and trained personnel, inadequate infrastructure, ethical oversight, and administrative burden, complex paperwork, coordination with the sponsors will be there. If patient found it is not a right time, if they are feeling bad, then patient will drop out. Then you will be answerable. Integration with routine care, managing clinical research without hospital disturbing the regular hospital operations. If you are daily enrolling patients in a specific OP, if that doctor is telling by after seeing you, patients are getting fear because you are trying to test some new drugs, so don't stand near, go to your doctor, because in a single department 5 to 10 doctors will be there, like, only one doctor will do clinical research, so all the other doctors will be opposed to you. So these kinds of small problems will be there. And knowledge gap, limited expertise in advanced research methodologies among staff, because you are working in 5 to 6 clinical trial, you are not exposed to global challenges. And create career perspective in industry, you have excellent growth, that as a CTM, CRM already explained it. Skill development, entrepreneurial skill, even you can start your own clinical research organization also, because you know where are all the sites is there, who are all the sponsor company. After working in a specific companies for 5 to 10 years, many people will start their own CRO, because many small CROs are there. Some people will work until 18 to 20 years and they get a very good amount, but many people will start site, private site, and private clinical research organization. So that is an excellent opportunity. And in hospital, growth is good, but even you can also start a new site, because you know how to they operate the clinical research in hospital. You can tie up with any big hospital, then you can start. Even Apollo also started clinical research few years back. Now they are enrolling good amount of patients. So like that, you can start a clinical research in any hospital, and you can become a director if you have a end-to-end process, know the end-to-end process of clinical trials. So comparison, already explained, money will be more in industry comparing to hospital, but the patient interaction satisfaction, less stress will be there in a hospital. Futuristic approach, clinical research as a core service, you can work in a hospital, because daily you can wear white coat, and you can focus on real world evidence. Some patients need to work have a dream to work in hospital, so they can work in hospital. Advances in translation researchers, organ transplant, eye transplant, and different latest AI researchers, collaborative networks, and these kinds of things. Industry means personalized medicine, technology integration, global, worldwide, because you will be transferred worldwide. You can see the how world is conducting clinical researches, what countries launching new medicines, sustainability. So you can see the global regulatory process also. So my ultimate advice is at least read daily one article. Okay, daily one clinical research article. This will definitely help you to speak about clinical research with anyone. So this is the pay scale, and this is the regular framework of the clinical research. If we want clinical research, we will have a different classes also from end to end. But it is mandatory to read at least daily one article You can just copy, download the paper, upload in a chat gpt as attachment, and you can ask summarize this article in a 5 to 10 lines. Then within a 5 to 10 lines it will give the article summary. It will be more than enough. So daily if you do one article, then it will be a excellent one for you. You can clear any kind of interview. Like same voice, please read the ICGCP and NDCT rule. Okay, NDCT rule, it is very 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 mandatory. Okay, so any questions? Because this is my topic, so I explained what is the difference between the clinical research industry in hospital versus industry.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing valuable insights and giving an overview about clinical research environment in hospital and industry. Participants, if you have any queries, please drop in the chat box.
Regarding clinical research or any interview preparations, how to prepare means anytime you can ping on my Instagram, sorry, LinkedIn. Dr. Motishwaran is the Instagram ID. Sorry, LinkedIn ID. Can you tell us what we should study for pursuing clinical research beside ICGC? I told you NDCT. NDCT, New Drug Clinical Trial, 2019. And speak with the clinical research peoples. Because I got the industry exposure without working in industry. After speaking with multiple clinical research industry people who has experience in more than 20 to 15 years, during our site, if they came to any clinical research visits, I ask, what is your experience, what is your best experience, what is your worst experience, what happen if you do any ATR, what is the next 5 year plan, what is your plan B, what advice would you give for a budding clinical researcher, what mistakes we should not do as a clinical researcher. These are the questions you should ask for a with the clinical research professionals. Even in LinkedIn also you can ask any people who is good in clinical research and have excellent exposure and experience. Definitely they will help you out. What will you guide a fresher getting into the clinical research? As a fresher, during I attended the interview, they asked patient enrollment. That main thing is they ask as a sponsor company, definitely they will ask NDCT rules, GCP. They will ask about site experience. Without site experience, they won't take, because many people with good experience in site come for interview. During your clinical PharmD intern also you can try your hospital or any hospitals outside. And even we are teaching end-to-end clinical research also. Okay, so already over, bro. Now we are Teja already sessions over. This is just a session, because regularly weekly we are conducting clinical research classes. So I don't want to repeat clinical researchers in this institute. I am taking regular Saturday Sunday classes, clinical research. So if you want, you can check with that text WhatsApp number. So from the basics to advanced, 2 months clinical research, not a promotion, just telling. If you're interested, you can ping with the thing. Apart from that, any doubts you can ask, or else we'll wind up the class. Some more interesting sessions are there. Okay, for the final answer, I'm telling which one suits hospital industry or hospital or industry. Which is your opinion? Final note. Please, everyone note. Put in a chat box. Hospital or industry? industry, hospital. Hospital will be good. For girls, hospital will be good. But now most women, CRAs are women. They are traveling worldwide and they are exploring the real world. So it's not for if you want to settle down in your hometown, then hospital. If you want to explore the whole world, then it is based on you. It's depend on the individual. Even in hospital also, some people are earning in crores by getting government research funded projects and all. So it is completely optional. So that's all about today's class. Sorry, as usual, I'm Tamil. As usual, after completing the regular classes, I used to told, okay, that's all about today's class. We will see next. Like that time to sir, all hospitals will have the no, no, only clinical research. Also, conducting hospitals will have the CRC post. Okay, guys, you can ask any doubts in my LinkedIn also. Thank you. Any document research materials, books and all, if you need means you can ping on my LinkedIn. LinkedIn. I will share you the NDCT rules, ICGCP, how to get a GCP certificate, everything. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful session. Now let's move into the second session of today's conference. The second speaker is Dr. Delvin Santosh Kumar, PharmD. Sir will be discussing about